Personal illegal load side. Block. Number 24. Mask. Number 6. He's well offset. Third down.
All right, so they'll repeat third down after the offsetting penalties. And we're back in 15 seconds.
Do you know a San Antonio teen in 7th to 12th grade looking for ways to get involved in the community? They can apply to be a Project Worth Teen Ambassador today. For more information, visit our website or call 210-207-8850.
So it'll be third and goal again from the, we'll call it the 8.
Result of the previous play, third and goal for Stevens from the Taft 8-yard line.
Nice fight there by Mason. Can they top that here on third down? They run the pitch, get it to the outside, to the 5, and walking in for the touchdown, Josiah Turner. The Falcons are on the board first. The triple option pitch, and the big fella walks in.
Yeah, it's a slot receiver doing his thing back there, coming around and getting into the zone. Good size, good play call, huge opportunity and a huge conversion for Stevens as they dot the scoreboard first in this one.
All right, so they try the extra point here. David John is 7 of 9 on the year. He's a junior. He's ready to go. Kick is up and true. And the Stevens Falcons have taken the lead, although there's a flag down. We'll sort that out. It's going against Taft. It's going to count. It'll be 7-0. Good job by this crew tonight.
Personal foul. Defense, number 44. Not his hand in the ground, making contact with the offense. Will be enforced at the
and
kickoff.
that 15-yard penalty against Taft will be enforced on the kickoff. So the Stevens Falcons.
Yeah, a little toss left
And
to get him down there, and then a little toss right to get him in there.
And they'll throw it as well. We're back after this.
Welcome back to Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Gomez Law Firm. We're here with our third sponsor of the evening, Beluga Air. Joe Gonzalez, the service manager over there. How are you tonight?
Good.
Doing all right? Doing all right? Perfect. So what do you do over at Beluga?
So I'm the service manager there at Beluga Air. I take care of the service technicians and making sure our customers are satisfied with all the work that we do.
Beluga Air is high into efficiency and making sure everything works properly. Why is it so important to make sure that people's HVAC systems work the correct way, especially in this Texas heat?
The reason it's important to make sure your system is working efficiency is because you want to make sure you can extend the life of it. You also want to make sure, especially right now with the gas, when they're coming around, you want to get your carbon dioxide checked, gas leak checked. You want to make sure your coils are clean. You want to make sure your attic's efficient, and you got the right attic ventilation.
All right, Joe, appreciate you. If you need anything, call the Beluga Air boys. They're having a whale of a time over there. Back up to you guys.
And we've got an onside kick. Stevens says they've got it. We'll see if they sort it out. There's a flag down. Stevens has the football, Did it go 10 yards? And what is the penalty? May have left a little early.
Yeah. I don't know, but once that ball took that humongous hop, that was going to give Taft and those gunners, Stevens and those gunners a chance to get
Offsides. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Re-kick.
All right, so they'll do it again. The element of surprise won't be there. But 22 was out in front on the kick. And great hop, but yeah, the element of surprise is gone now. We'll have to see what they decide to do. You get a hop like that, it doesn't matter if you're expecting it or not. You get a hop like that, who cares if they know it's coming?
Yeah, I mean, if you're one of the up guys, you got to make that read and you got to make a decision, right? Sometimes your best move is to go get the ball before it gets to that 10-yard plateau.
So we will re-kick here from the 50. Stevens leading it 7-0 after a option touchdown to take the lead. 1 and 2 coming in. Taft 3 and 1 in our top 10. But Coach Boykin was very confident that his team could play with Taft here tonight. And sure enough, 1:16 to go. They have the lead, and they're a confident football team. Pooch this time into no man's land. That's dangerous. Has to be fielded, and is all the way back to the 25, back to the 15 rather. And so a nice kick, and we've got ourselves a little scrap afterwards. And what you'll have there is offsetting, most likely, of personal fouls on both squads.
Yeah, I think the officials doing a great job tonight in this ball game, kind of getting a wrangle on this grit ball game that we got going on between these two heavyweights in the North Side League. I mean, these games very, very precious. Dudes are amped up, and we're just in the first quarter.
It's good, intense football. Ricky stayed joking with the official. These things normally go against both. You usually don't pick one guy out. It's usually, or sometimes it's the second guy that got there that gets caught.
Yeah, so Taft ultimately is going to catch a huge break on the offsides with the onside kick. And hats off to Raymond Foster, too. That's not an easy ball to then go track on the ensuing kick. Did a good job getting to the football, and he's given his opportunity, or his teammates an opportunity to have the ball on offense.
Here's the call from Eric Smith.
On the play. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Kicking team, number 6. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Team, number 20. Penalties will cancel. First down. Tap.
All right, just as we expected, offsetting penalties. And here's our player profile. We're going to have a bunch of them for you tonight. Prometheus Elmore, best name in the game, and he's one of the best players in town. IBEW local 64-year football letterman, a speedster on the track, and the oldest of 7. So, man, when you got 6 brothers and sisters younger, you got your hands full at home.
You see what he wants to major in, too?
Yeah, Brainiac.
God of fire, Prometheus.
So it's a San Antonio Zoo first down, and they hand it to him here on first down, and he's still running across the 20 down to the 21. Gain of about 6.
Second and 5 for Taft from their own 51.
Set up second down and 4. Vogel will keep it himself. Nice move, putting on the brakes. Cutting across the middle. He's got a San Antonio Zoo first down. And he was dead to rights and all of a sudden just slammed on the brakes and went the other way.
Yeah, this is really nifty. Great vision, great cutting ability, excellent feet for the Birdman. That's going to take us down to the end of the quarter here, it looks like.
Maybe one more snap if they decide to. And they do. And they hand it to Elmore, and he's got good yardage up to the 40. And that will be the end of the first quarter. The Stevens Falcons lead it 7-0, but the Taft Raiders are moving the football when second quarter action returns.
Drinks and takes until we fall out and take a move on fast.
Welcome back. It's time for our San Antonio Ready to Work highlights. First quarter highlights for you, and it was establishing the run with their big bell cow, Nathan Lopez. Big chunk there, and then surprisingly, they went to the air. The backup QB, Caleb Ravilla, going to Dominic Mason, and then it was the Josiah Turner show. That set up this on the pitch, and the option, the first touchdown of the game, and Stevens leads it 7-0. But as we start second quarter action, the Taft Raiders moving the football. It's 2nd down and 5 for Vogel. He runs a little option. He'll pitch it to Prometheus. Elmore to the outside, and I believe he's got a countywide service company first down, went out of bounds right at the marker.
Giving Stevens Falcons a little dose of their own medicine, right? We're going to run the ball too and run it well. Got the pitch. Prometheus popping it outside. They got a couple of really good running backs at Taft. Of course, Elmore has earned every bit of what he's gotten over his career. What a fantastic one it's been, too.
They're going to mark it short, so it's 3rd and 1. They'll try Elmore again. He's got the first down and more. Good tackle, though, by the tackling machine, Josh Bullock. Man, when Josh hits you, you feel it.
You got that right. And this Stevens defense is slowly coming along, too, and finding its legs as we go on through the course of the season. I think, Stevens is a prime example of, you can see a team, what they do during their non-district games to get ready for these big boy games when they get to league.
Elmore trying to get outside. They did a good job, did the Stevens defense, of cutting off the edge, so he turned it back inside just as it was coached. It only picks up about 1. As the Taft defense, or excuse me, the Stevens defense stepping up. Martin Barrett, one of the guys over there, cutting him off.
Yeah, Eli Montez, just a sophomore, over there getting down, getting funky too.
It's 2nd down and 9 for Vogel. They draw him off sides, free play. They'll throw it down the sideline, and it's incomplete, but I believe it's going to be offsides against Stevens, and it'll be 5-yard penalty.
Well, obviously a very good job with the cadence and getting the big guys up front to jump, but
Offside.
hats off to a couple of those
Defense.
Stevens
Number
defenders back
99.
there too. I mean, that was the old
5-yard
fire drill
penalty.
play, and
2nd down.
corner and safety having none of it. Manuel Angel, the junior, back there and had some help.
Taking a look at Anthony Boykin. He's done an outstanding job at Stevens, one of the great coaching leaders in San Antonio. And just an outstanding leader of men as well. An outstanding example growing these guys up. As Vogel looks to throw it, goes down the sideline. That ball's intercepted. I don't believe the foot got down. And a really fantastic play on the ball back there by Stevens' corner. And that was Locus Samara, but he just missed getting his foot in bounds.
Yeah, just a smidge, but very athletic play getting over there. And he was one of the guys that didn't bite on the home run play the play before too. So the guy's hawking balls right now.
That'll set up 3rd down and 4 for Tucker Vogel and the Taft offense. He's got Elmore behind him, 2 split right, 2 split left. They again get the defense to jump. I didn't see a flag. That ball is caught, but I believe
He got it.
right there on the 40, and there's going to say he got a foot down.
Oh, you talk about a great back shoulder throw that time, and Kenyon Skelton, look at this guy. Talk about good feet.
He drugged that left leg. What a great move. That's good enough for a countywide service company 1st down, except they're talking it over.
Oh, wow, I thought he got it. Is everybody waving it off?
Incomplete pass.
Looks like
3rd
young
down.
Plaxico Burris out there wearing 17.
Result of the previous play, 3rd and 4 for Taft from the Stevens 47.
Did the center move early? Or are they calling it incomplete? They're calling it incomplete. Watch the left leg.
Yeah, you got them both.
And they don't have the benefit of replay, so it's 4th down. Taft wants to talk it over and take a timeout. Ricky stayed. Thought his guy got it down. We'll take it with him. It's 4th down for Taft when we come back.
For 75 years, Northside ISD has been dedicated to providing quality education, fostering excellence, and nurturing the bright minds of our future leaders. From our humble beginnings to becoming one of the largest and most respected school districts in Texas, this journey would not have been possible without the unwavering support of our students, parents, staff, and the entire community. Thank you for being a part of our 75-year legacy.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is sponsored by Premier Pros.
So the Taft Raiders, after a very close call went against them,
4th and 4 for Taft.
Skelton making a catch on the sideline. They deemed him to be out of bounds, so there'll be 4th down and 4 near midfield. And it's Vogel in the gun. He fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, dives ahead for the Countywide Service Company first down.
Well, first order of business if you're going to do that, and what a gutsy call on 4th down, right, to keep it on the ground. And Don, they ran and they triple teamed big number 90, Caleb Ned, the sophomore. This guy is going to be something else. Well, he already is something else, but man, think about what he's going to look like in 2 years. They tripled up him and went right at his spot.
Already has an offer from UTSA as just a sophomore, 6'2", 215. And he takes up a lot of space there on the nose. First down and 10. Straight ahead, Gail Delgado on the tackle.
You can see how Taft likes to run their offense too. I mean, they've had a lot of success throwing the football this year, obviously. I mean, Vogel's throwing the ball at a 66% clip, but everything goes off the run for them as well. That's why not a surprise here that we're just flipping through this game as quickly as we are, especially with these teams picking up first downs at the rate that they are.
2nd down and 7. They run it again to Elmore. A short gain of about 2. It'll be 3rd down and about 6.
Ball carried by Elmore, stopped by Gael Delgado.
Our IBEW Local 60 player profile focusing on Francisco Reyes. He's a favorite of Chuck because of
You got it.
show flow, 3-year letterman in football, and great hair.
Started every position on the line for the Raiders at some point, and look out.
Good play design, bubble screen,
Oh, I hope he didn't hurt his knee.
but there's a flag down. And Elmore does get up. That's the good news, but
Yes, sir.
boy, what a good play call. They just, in executing it, something went askew.
Yeah, it just looked like his plant foot kind of gave way, and yeah, that was going to go for an awful long way if he could just keep his feet.
The flag's on this side of the field, away from the ball.
Defense, number 18, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So they call the penalty on the defense, which makes it 3rd and 1. We believe he caught it and then fumbled. It wasn't a
Result of the previous play, 3rd and 1 for Taft from the
completion.
34.
I'm going to give you a different look here on 3rd and short, huh?
Full house backfield. Now they come out of it. And now another pre-snap penalty, and tempers
Out
flaring
on the
again.
field, Stevens, that's their first of the half.
There's a timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. Stevens leads Taft 7-0 as the second quarter rolls on here.
3rd and 1 for Taft from the Stevens 34.
We are back. It's our Moonlight Ballroom Smile Cam. As we get back to action and they're breaking free, they're going to call him down as Vogel came out of that pile.
I don't know if his knee ever hit the ground, Don.
He gets pushed forward.
And
he's
never
still up.
hit the ground. Wow.
Ricky State is going to look at this tape and that catch and then that play right there and wish there were instant replay. Well, that one wouldn't have mattered anyway because they blew it down with the whistle. Here's Vogel running left, cuts it inside and is thrown to the ground at the 24. Set up 2nd down and about 5.
Yeah, and they've had a couple of calls, as you just alluded to, not go their way, but if there's any justice, they'll go down and get them one anyway.
7:12 remaining here in the first half. 3 receivers to the right-hand side for Vogel. Taft playing from behind. The Raiders coming off a big win where they put 56 on the board against Holmes. Throw it to the outside. It's caught there and not going for much. You got to hand it to the Stevens defense, the way that Taft has been lighting up the scoreboard. Put up 28 to beat Clemens, 35 to beat Marshall, and 56 over Holmes last week. And here they are with a goose egg with only 6:28 to go here in the half.
Yeah, Martin Barrett, the sophomore, and Aiden Rodriguez, the junior, both getting out there and making a play on the outside. Well done, fellas.
3rd and 3 for Vogel. Looks like he wants to throw it. Now he scrambled, got out of the first tackler, and now a gang of Falcons is there to bring him down. It'll be 4th down, and there he is, Josh Bullock, the first man there.
Well, just relentless pressure, and Tucker Vogel's not the biggest guy on the planet, but I'll tell you what, that's one tough hombre, man. Elusive, slick.
How about Bullock? Watch this. He misses the first tackle.
He sure does.
Gets up and pursues and gets him the 2nd time. Wow, what a motor. 4th and 7. 3 receivers left. They went early, no flag. Vogel got a man down there and missed him. That was touchdown central for Gabriel Lechuga, but just overthrown, and the Stevens defense holds.
You know, Ray Don, this guy had a couple of punt returns last week. He is an electric football player, and my goodness, that was one they would love to have back, but I think they were trying to save the Ray big play for maybe later in the game, but that guy is going to be able to get all he wants. When he gets in free and clear to navigate in the open field, look out below.
Yeah, it was Ray Foster, not Lechuga. You said it, his speed ran him open.
Hello.
And look at the churning of the big young man that we've been talking about all night, Nathan Lopez, just carrying tacklers with him ahead for 9.
2nd and 1 for Stevens from their own 37.
This is really something else, right? It's almost like somebody who's got a fastball on the mound. Here it is, see if you can hit me.
2nd down and 1. They'll run him again. He's got the Countywide Service Company first down and more.
That's kind of what Ricky Stade was talking about this week, trying to defend what he was going to have to do this week against Stevens, Don. He said it's a lot like basketball. You know, if you don't get out and stop the fast break, well, they're going to keep doing layups on you. And so it's important to make sure that you're really sound, especially on 1st down, to get them behind the sticks. But if it's 3rd and 1 and 2nd and 1, he felt like it was going to be a long night for his team.
Countywide Service Company first down, and this time it's Ferris. He's off to the races. He's to the 30. He's to the 20. He's to the 5. Touchdown, Stevens! Isaiah Ferris, hide and go seek. I've got it and I'm gone.
Yeah, and to use the baseball analogy to keep that going, how about a home run? Wow, good for playing touch, and then look at the speed. I thought surely somebody's going to be able to stop this, right? But I don't think so, says Isaiah Ferris, picking him up and putting him down.
And if we could take a look at the replay after this extra point, I want to show you something about fundamentals that is just coaching through and through. The extra point, no good. It's on the ground, and it'll stay 13-0. But check out the other look. Watch him switch hands, not once but twice. He feels the defender coming from the right, switches to the left. See the defender coming from the left, switches back to the right. That's good coaching right there to protect the football. But nobody was going to take it from him because it ain't close enough to even touch it.
Right, well, just in case, right? Just in case somebody gets close to me, I'm going to do the right thing. Well done, and good eye there, Don, picking that up.
He's making his coaches proud, switching hands like that. You usually see it once. You rarely see it twice on the same run.
Guys, we've been talking a lot about this Stevens offense, and if you like D2 football, it probably looks familiar. It's the flex bone. It's what the national champions at the D2 level, Harding University, run, and they run it so well that Coach Boykin and his staff actually go out to Arkansas every year, learn from that team and how proficient they do it, try and make this team competitive, because he was telling me they're obviously not as big as some of the other teams in their district, but this flex bone offense makes them competitive and doing pretty well for them tonight, I'd say, guys.
Harding University.
In Little Rock.
Is that I believe that's the same guy who just has decided he will never, ever not onside kick. They onside kick on every possession.
Yeah, I mean, they right now, apparently, at least according to Coach Boykin, they do it better than anybody and run it more efficiently than anybody else in the nation right now, in his opinion. And, you know, to further Matt's point, you know, because of their size and what they feel like they don't have, they did this 3 years ago, and again, it's been kind of a work in progress, not only week to week, but year to year. And I don't know, Coach Stade could not say enough good things about how well he thinks they're running it at this point, especially when you got 24 in there leading that bull charge up front.
Vogel will throw it high and incomplete. You know, Navy did it so well. Georgia Tech has done it so well. There's not a lot of people that run those kind of offenses, so that when you do execute it, it is. And if you decide, and you see it in a lot of small Texas towns that don't have size, but they work hard on the execution. If you can execute it, there's a lot of options that make it impossible for the defense to defend. That one's going backwards. Good penetration by the Stevens defensive front, and it's going to be a loss on the play for Taft.
And I think, you know, to your point about this defense, I mean, this is to me where they look like they've made the most growth tonight. I mean, this has been an amazing first half. Obviously, their offense has kept the defense off the field for most of the night, but when they've been in there, they've done a really nice job throwing up the goose egg so far.
And they've been competitive. Week one, not good. They lost to Churchill 42-7, but
offense,
a lot can go wrong
53.
in week one.
That
And they
penalty
bounce
is
back,
declined.
barely lose to
Result
Clark,
of the play, third
28-21.
down.
And they beat up on Holmes last week, 40-23. So, you know, it's a long season, and they keep this up, they'll be 2-0 in district play. So the Stevens Falcons showing up here to fight tonight. It's 3rd down and 10 after the holding call. Vogel will get a sign from his coaches, maybe change the play. And on 3rd and 10, he'll drop back. Wants to go deep, now does. There's Ray. Caught! He's brought down inside the Central Med red zone, the speed that you talked about, Chuck. Raymond Foster, Ray they call him, and 2 returns for touchdowns last week. and his speed is just too much to handle.
Yeah, big play Ray, and like I said, that's one of those guys, man, that's all you can eat if that's the route you want to go. He's just got that kind of speed.
Elmore trying to get outside, and he's brought down for a loss, and here's another look at it. And it's just speed and patience by the quarterback Vogel. Got him in a great dime in single one-on-one coverage.
Well, it's so funny. Coach Stade was talking about they hadn't had a punt return done in the 6 years that he'd been coaching at Taft, and he's got 2 in the last 2 weeks from Ray. So they have come in bunches.
Can the Raiders get on the board here before halftime? 2:44 to play, and 2nd and 15 after the 5-yard loss. They run a new back, not Elmore. That's Isaiah Delgado, the junior. His first carry, and he's coming up a little gimpy, limping off.
Yeah, very versatile guy, and he's been a very good player for these Raiders.
And 2 down territory here for Taft, 3rd and 13. You would think they would go for it if they don't come up here with the first down. So maybe the coordinator's thinking 2 plays here. Ball's on the ground. Vogel's trying to make something out of nothing, and does. He's still on his feet. Vogel to the 15, to the 10. Touchdown, Vogel! Talk about stick-to-itiveness. That play was blown up, and that young man just wouldn't give up.
This is one of the more impressive plays that we've seen all year. I mean, this has got disaster written all over it. And then there's so many guys in the backfield. It's like surely somebody's going to make a play and really get a clean lick on 7. But this dude is a 4x2 guy, that a squad that went to regionals for the Taft track team. What a phenomenal individual play by a guy that's getting better and better every week. Ryan Vogel, the Birdman, on TNL, showing out.
Beyond the Game is an initiative that works with all area school districts to encourage high school and middle school teams and individuals to make a difference within their student population and serve our community. We know that students who participate in team sports are setting the foundation for their future in the workplace by learning teamwork, unselfishness, and respect. This program recognizes high school and middle school teams and individuals for working together to make a difference in our community.
The principles of integrity, respect, teamwork, excellence, and community service are central to Valero's culture. We are excited to team up with Beyond the Game to honor students who are dedicated to making meaningful contributions on and off the field.
Having Valero as a teammate for Beyond the Game will help this program continue to positively impact more teams, coaches, and families. 4 teams will be recognized in the San Antonio High School All-Star Football Game in the Alamo Dome. If you want to nominate, you can visit sanantoniosports.org to learn more about the program and nominate teams and individuals today.
Tucker Vogel, the man of the hour. Just an impressive play. We saw earlier in the game he had a similar play where he didn't give up on it and made something out of nothing, but nothing like that.
Well, you know, and you talk about getting a spark from somewhere, Taft really hasn't been that bad on offense tonight. They've had some calls obviously go against them, and you know, they've had a couple of miscues that have kind of set them back or put them behind the chains, but you know, when in doubt, get your dude to make a play, and maybe that'll spark him. Great, tremendous individual effort to cut that score in half.
And we're back in 15 seconds.
Hey San Antonio teens! Are you looking for ways to share your voice, creativity, and ideas on ways to positively impact the community? Become a Project Worth Teen Ambassador. For more information, visit our website or call 210-207-8850.
So the Stevens Falcons have a minute 38, 2 of their 3 times. They're a run-heavy offense. This is what I'm interested to see what a 2-minute offense looks like for a team that doesn't throw the football. And they'll hand it straight ahead to their big guy who's still going forward. Got already a nice night for Nathan Lopez. Over 50 yards on the night.
Tell you what, it is getting gritty down in the trenches with these two teams. Hello. Guys knocking out their own guys, man.
Big Dakota Perkins laying the wood there late as he was struggling for yardage. 275 pounds is Perkins. 1 minute to go, 2nd and 4.
Two-year starter is big 88.
Good penetration, and that play is blown up. First man there was Tristan Clark, the junior linebacker. He's so fired up, his mouthpiece is flying out. So is the big fella, Perkins.
Yeah, big run stuffer. There he goes, 88 in the backfield. Look out below.
Stevens will burn one of their 2 timeouts here. 3rd and 10. And this might be a chance where you just want to get to the half. Hey, one of the high school bands featured on TNL this year is going to win a $5,000 band grant. It's all based on your votes. Scan the QR code on your screen or visit the cw35.com/station/contest. You must be 18 and live in our viewing area. The $5,000 band grant is sponsored by Christus Children's. 49 seconds to go, and you're in a tough spot here because Taft still has a timeout. They can burn it and get the ball back if you're not careful with really good field position. So a little strategery going on between these two coaches.
3rd and 11 for Stevens.
100%, right? Field position mean everything here late in the end of the quarter.
Misdirection. They are going to let it fly. Got a man down there, caught, and it's caught short of the line to gain. We'll see where they spot it. They're going to spot it.
Lead to Rodney Boysley, stopped by Ivan Lee.
Good enough for the countywide service company 1st down.
And we're going to have to talk to Coach Boykin, man. When they want to throw it, they're just right down the field, man.
And that just 1st down might have done nothing but keep the ball away from Taft. They're going to kneel it here and get into the half, but that 1st down was key because of Taft would have had a chance to block a punt, get the ball back with about a minute left. Instead, we'll go to the half with Stevens leading Taft 13-7 on a good TNL district battle here in 28-6A. What else would there be? Right? And stick around. CentroMed halftime show. These are the big 6As now. The bands are awesome, and they're into the part of the season where their contest performances are ready. So you're going to see some really good stuff here at the half. But first, let's go down to the sidelines. Matt Roy hanging out with Coach Boykin.
Don, Coach, got Coach Boykin here. Coach, your defense has done a great job. Obviously, this team scored 56 last week, only 6 or 7 on the board right now. What are they doing correctly?
Well, I'll tell you what we need to do is we need to stop penalizing ourselves. Okay, jumping off sides. We gave up a big play on the third long on the pass play, and then we let the quarterback out for a touchdown just then. So I'll tell you what we need to do is we got to get those things fixed.
Coach, on offense, obviously your flex bone is kind of keeping you guys in this. You said it before the game, it makes you guys stay competitive. What are you guys doing correct on offense, and what do you need to keep doing?
Again, what we need to do is make the corrections. We're not fitting correctly on the perimeter. We just lost yards there on the toss play. We didn't fit that correctly. So I'm going to go in and make the corrections right now.
All right, Coach. We'll see you after the game.
Coaches are never happy. He's ahead 13-7 against the number 10 team in town, and there's a lot to fix still. You gotta love coaches, man. It's 13-7. When we come back, it's our CentroMed halftime shows, both bands and our Scholar Athletes of the Week. Stick around on TNL.
Tonight's broadcast of Thursday Night Lights is sponsored by Taco Cabana, the Gomez Law Firm, Beluga Air, Centro Med, Enroll SA, San Antonio Sports, Valero, San Antonio Zoo, County-Wide Service Company, Christus Children's, ACNowSA.com, Rhino Roofers, San Antonio Ready to Work, Moonlight Ballroom, Air and Plumbing Today, Living Way Church, San Antonio Metropolitan Health District, Premier Pros, IBEW, Vietnam Army Grunt Museum, and Monarch Trophy Studio.
But your family stands beside you in support of duty's call. We sincerely hope that you recognize that Northside Independent School District, our employees, patrons, and over 100,000 students thank you for keeping us free, safe, and out of harm's way. As the combined bands from Stevens and Taft High School perform the music salute to all branches of the armed forces, we ask that retired and current servicemen and women stand during their service song. Ladies and gentlemen, here is a salute to America's finest. The United States Army.
Welcome to the Centro Med Halftime Report.
Welcome back to Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Gomez Law Firm. 13 Stevens, 7 for the Taft Raiders right now. Great game going on at Gustafson Stadium. And we got a special treat for you on the field right now as well. Both the Taft and the Stevens High School marching bands are on the field for a special performance as Northside ISD honors our military and first responders. Earlier this week, we spoke to the Taft Director of Bands. Take a listen.
Hi, my name is Greg Mills. I am the Director of Bands at Taft High School. I've been here for the last 12 years. We have a really great mix of personalities and age groups. We have a wonderful freshman class that has really come in and given us a lot of new life, new energy, new ideas, new excitements. And so it's always really fun to watch kids get excited about band for the first time when they come into the band hall and they see the size of it. And by the time they're a senior, the room feels a little smaller. But seeing it through a first-year member's eyes is always really, really fun and energetic for us. This season we have a show called The World of Fabergé. And when I say the word Fabergé, everyone thinks that they might know what that is, but Fabergé is a family that lived in Russia 100 years ago that were jewelry makers, and they made these really famous objects called Fabergé eggs, these decorative and jeweled eggs that were given to gifts to Russian royalty and famous families like that. Nowadays, less than 70 exist in the world, and so we have an entire show built around the creation of these really rare, extremely expensive, and precious objects called Fabergé eggs. So it's a show about eggs, jewels, diamonds, and so on and so forth. We are heading to our first competition this weekend up in Buda, and then we head up to Austin. And we're making the circuit. We've got about 5 different contests between UILs and U.S. bands style contests. Our goal is the same as it was last year, to bring the best presentation of the Taft band that we possibly can. Last year we placed 6th in area prelims, which is a program best for us. And so obviously we're looking to push the envelope every single season. We have a wonderful director team. Our director of color guard is Jacob Barrientos. We've got our associate directors, Mr. Jeremy Chapman, who heads up our percussion section, and Mr. Robert Soto, who heads up our brass section here, and then I oversee woodwinds. We're also really blessed to have a very supportive administration between Taft High School and our attached magnet school. Mr. Aurelio Hernandez is our second-year principal, and he has just done a wonderful job with us. We love his support. And Dr. Lisa Baker at Communication Arts High School. Also, we have a new fine arts supervisor and director of fine arts in Northside, Miss Elizabeth Sanchez-Lopez, who has come into our program, and she really trusts that we know what we're doing, and she gives us support from the administrative side as well.
It's time to vote for the Christian Children's $5,000 band grant. To vote for the Taft High School Marching Band, scan the QR code on your screen or visit cw35.com/station/contests. You must be 18 years old and live in our viewing area.
San Antonio middle and high school athletes are doing great things for our community. San Antonio Sports and Valero are shining a light on teams and individuals who model key values through their actions. This week, we salute 2 schools whose community projects demonstrate beyond the game values. The Canyon High School cross-country team spent a Saturday volunteering at the Stars and Stripes Half Marathon 5 and 10K to help keep the runners hydrated and cool throughout the event. Members of the Churchill High School boys basketball team hosted a boys basketball camp this summer for more than 60 campers, developing their knowledge and passion for the game of basketball, plus conducted drills to improve their skills. These athletes demonstrated the beyond the game values of integrity, respect, teamwork, excellence, and community service. San Antonio Sports and Valero salute high school and middle school coaches who inspire their athletes to serve others. Parents, teachers, and coaches can nominate teams and individuals that go beyond the game.
You're watching the Central Med Halftime Report.
Welcome back to TNL. Every week on TNL, we get to showcase some of our incredible student athletes in the San Antonio area. And at the end of the year, our sponsor, Beluga Air, who you heard from a little earlier, will give one of the athletes sponsored this season on TNL a $10,000 scholarship. Our David Chancellor introduces us to this week's Scholar Athletes from Taft and Stevens.
Jaden Keeler is always on the run at Taft High School.
I work out around 5 to 6 times a week. I try to rest in between days, go to things like recovery places whenever I can.
He's a varsity football player who's really good, and yet he's even better at track.
Do you consider yourself to be a football guy who runs track or a track guy who just happens to play football?
I'd say I started off as a football guy who ran track, but now I've switched to more a track guy who plays football.
He won region last year in the 300-meter hurdles, which to many is the toughest event in track.
Your legs are pretty heavy. You just got to push through. It's a mental thing. You just got to give the rest you got. Don't leave anything else on the track. I started freshman year, still new-ish, still picking it up, a lot more to learn.
Do you think you'll be a track athlete in college?
Yes, sir. Currently looking into going to college for track.
He hopes to run college track, and with a 95 GPA, grades won't be an issue. He's an AP student in the Honor Society who just happens to be the youngest of 6 children. Now, he may not be anybody's big brother, but he's a role model to many.
I do try to be a role model for other kids who may want to hurdle or be in sports, or maybe they just want somebody to look up to as a senior.
Carolina Vargas just loves sport. She's a 2-year varsity player in volleyball who made that a goal long before now.
When I started playing, it was just I would look to the older girls and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what varsity is. That's what I want to be. So eventually when I got to my junior and had the summer, working all summer, for all that. And so it was just it was a relief because I was a junior, and then it was just wow, I've made it.
She also qualified in the regional meet in the shot put, and she serves as student trainer for all sports teams at Stevens High School.
I'd like to say time management, even though I'm a very big procrastinator.
Yes, be honest.
But no, it's a lot. It does tend to be a lot, especially having to make eligibility checks, like school and all that. But at the end of the day, it's something that I really love to do. So I'm gonna make time for everything.
She sees sports medicine in her future, and she's got the chops school-wise for that thanks to a 95.7 GPA. She's also got the heart. Carolina loves to volunteer, especially events like toy drives and reading to elementary school kids.
I'm the youngest of 3. I never really had my sibling. My 2 brothers are older than me, and they have and I've grown up with their kids. So I guess that's where it's kind of developed them. And I've always just I'm a very nurturing, I like to take care of people.
You're watching the Central Med Halftime Report.
You guys just got into breaking news. Monty Horta, the homecoming court king here tonight. Homecoming night here at Gustafson Stadium. Obviously, you see everything going on here at Gus. Stevens homecoming night, and they are putting on a show on the football field as well, up 13-7 over Taft right now. And the Stevens High School Marching Band is on the field performing for their homecoming celebration. Earlier this week, we caught up with the director of bands. Take a listen.
My name is John Dominguez, and I'm the director of bands at Stevens High School, and I've been here since 2005, since the school opened, so this is my 20th year here at Stevens. The band's been doing a great job this year. They're growing. Every year since 2020, we've been growing back in numbers, and we're the biggest that we've been in the past 4 years. The group is relatively young. We have about 20 seniors in the band program, but we have a total of about 200 students in the marching band. So we're really excited for their production this year. Both Taft and Stevens will perform after the game. We're both getting ready for some competitions we have coming up this Saturday. This is the end of September, which is the beginning of marching band competition season. So we're looking forward to putting our show out there. We're really excited about the show because we had a whole new design team of people writing for us and putting drill out on the field and putting visual effects out on the field and choreography and all things of that sort. The show is called Finding North, and it kind of starts off as a trip where we're going through the north to try to reach our destination, and that destination is a little bit abstract, but along the way we have some hiking that we do kind of through the show. The music will portray that. The slow ballad movement kind of simulates us seeing the aurora borealis, the northern lights, which is really a cool effect. And then we end up through it with a triumphant musical ending as we find north and find our compass and our way home. We really love the Stevens Band family. They do a great job in supporting us, and that family includes, of course, all the directors and staff that we have, the designers that I mentioned earlier. We have a wonderful, big group of hardworking parents that do, they just bend over backwards for us. And, of course, the students are fantastic. They work very hard. They stay humble. They have a lot of pride in what they do, and they carry themselves with a lot of character and integrity, and we're really excited about the culture that we have here. And we appreciate everybody that's helped establish that over the past 20 years.
To vote for the Stevens High School Marching Band, scan the QR code on your screen or visit cw35.com/station/contest. You must be 18 years old and live in our viewing area. Thanks again to Christus Children's for sponsoring this year's $5,000 band grant.
You're watching the Central Med Halftime Report.
Welcome back. It's halftime here. The Central Med halftime show rolls on. 13-7, the Stephens Falcons lead it. Time for our San Antonio Ready to Work game time highlights. The first half started out belonging to the Stephens Falcons, and it was the Josiah Turner show early as he got into the end zone to give them a 7-0 lead. Then the speed of their quarterback going the distance from deep was Isaiah Ferris. It was 13-0 Stephens, but Taft hit on this big play to Ray Foster. That got him in business, and then just an outstanding second effort by their quarterback, Tucker Vogel, keeping the play alive and getting to the end zone. He went in to make it 13-7. That's where we stand when we come back with third quarter action on Thursday Night Lights. The Taft Relentless Raiders back on the field here, trying to get back in this football game. They scored before the half to make it a one-score game, and they do get the ball first here in the second half. And Chuck, for all the talk about this maybe being a mismatch coming in, the Stephens Falcons have bowed up and shown they're getting better each week.
Yeah, records can be deceiving this time of year because, you know, everybody's kind of a work in progress, trying to build up to what's going on in league play. And as we said at the onset, the only thing that matters is what's your record in district, and both of these teams come in unblemished in that regard.
Taft's going to have good field position after the return up to the 40-yard line. It'll be a San Antonio Zoo first down for the Falcons, who look to maybe take the lead with an extra point if they can get in the end zone. And we go down and check and see how Ricky Stade felt about this one. Here's Matt Roy.
Guys, it was really interesting. The Taft Raiders were in the locker room until about 15 seconds left in the half. Usually you get a little bit of time to warm up, you know, get ready for the second half, but they were getting talked to, making adjustments until the very last second. Coach Stade said they've got a lot to fix in this second half. He knew they were going to come out slow against this flex bone offense, but they got a lot to fix to win this game.
All right, we'll see if their offense can move it like they did at the end of the first half. Tucker Vogel, the junior quarterback, joined in the backfield by Prometheus Elmore. He's gotten a lot of carries tonight, and he gets this one, and he has good yardage on first down, up for about 4. And flag on the play. Had a really clean game last week on TNL. This one, lots of penalties. Including some unsportsmanlike. This is a fight tonight.
10-yard penalty. First down.
That's the kind of penalty that just kills a coach.
Absolutely.
Your first drive of the second half, your first play, you get positive yardage, and now you're behind the sticks. It's 1st and 20.
Well, you just feel like if Taft settles down a little bit, but, you know, they've been pretty good all year. It's just been one of those nights so far finding a rhythm.
Looks like they're going to throw it here. Vogel going over the middle. That ball almost intercepted. Stevens' defender jumped the route. Anthony Gonzalez was thinking pick 6. His ball was just a little high, but what great reaction on the throw by 23.
Academic all-district for a reason, right? This guy's good in the classroom and obviously has a really good nose for watching film and seeing how things develop. He saw that one all the way and came within an eyelash of making a really big play for this Stevens defense.
Now a couple of passing downs here at 2nd and 20. Vogel's going to run it, and this time he will not get out of a jam as a host of Falcons is there to bring him down, and he's a little slow getting up, man. Is he okay?
He took a big lick, but hats off to 53 Francisco Reyes, one of their team captains, 3-year starter. Look what he does over here on the left side. Just has this guy completely locked up. That at least gave Tucker a lane in which to run. Although it looks like he's going to have to come out of the game.
Yeah, he was a little woozy. I didn't know if it was his legs or if it was his head, but he was real slow getting up. Oh, he rolled over on his neck. Yeah, that looked painful.
Yeah, at least give him a chance to catch his breath, if nothing else, but he is definitely going to the sidelines, at least for this play.
It'll be 3rd down and 16. And we'll see who comes in at quarterback. They may go shotgun. No, here he is. Gavin Gutierrez is in on 3rd and 16. First snap for this kid, and he is eaten alive. A loss on the play. And guess who? You got it. Josh Bullock again. Seems like every time they need a play, that's the guy who makes it.
Yeah, you got Big Ned up there in the middle. You got a McGarity over there that's pretty good. And Josh Bullock, this guy had 100 tackles last year. Complete stud. Talk about a guy seeing a play before it happens. And Ricky Stade throwing his junior quarterback right into the fire on the first play that he gets into the ball game.
So Taft has to punt it away, and this is a good kick. Stevens will field it in a mess. That was a gutsy play there by Dominic Mason. A lot can go wrong when you try to do that, but he held on to the football. And Stevens will have it on their own 41-yard line for the first time here in the second half. We're back in 15 seconds.
Do you know a San Antonio teen in 7th to 12th grade looking for ways to get involved in the community? They can apply to be a Project Worth Teen Ambassador today. For more information, visit our website or call 210-207-8850.
It's a San Antonio Zoo first down for Isaiah Ferris. They run it up the middle, and breaking free is Nathan Lopez. He's got another San Antonio Zoo first down as the Stevens offense little bolstered by what Bullock did on D. They come out breathing fire here on their first play.
And he's a handful to bring down, but Quincy Harper doing a very good job of doing just that, or that was going to be a lot bigger play.
And give it to him again, and this time only about 2.
And you can feel the intensity level absolutely ratchet up on both sides of the football here on this drive.
So I wonder if Matt's listening in. He may know, he's the player X knows. When you run this option, does Lopez know that he's getting on that quick hitting fullback dive, or is it the option of Ferris to pull it at any time?
So I was talking to Coach before the game, and he said they basically just read a lot. You're reading multiple players on the defensive line. You know how usually on a read option you're just reading the D end. On this one, they're reading the D end, they're reading the backer, they're reading the opposite D end, because they're just going straight up the middle. So your fullback knows that he's either going to get it or he's going to have a block.
So it's up to Ferris to pull it or let go.
Pretty much. It depends on the play call as well. Sometimes they'll pull off the option and they'll just go with that fullback dive, that halfback dive with no option. Ferris is handing it off 100%. But many times, I would say the majority of the time, it's up to Ferris really about what they're running here.
Well, here he goes. He keeps it, and he's got the first down, and he's got more. Ferris off to the races, to the 10. Touchdown, Stevens Falcons. Isaiah Ferris' second long one of the night, and they add to the lead. It's 19-7 with the PAT still to come.
Well, great job by Matt Roy breaking it all down for us, and I went with the ball carrier Lopez. I thought he was going to get it, and too many of the Raiders guys saw exactly what I did, and Isaiah Ferris, man, you give him an inch, he's going to take a mile. What a burst.
They're going to go for 2 here, up 19-7. They split out 2 to the left, including Josiah Turner on the inside slot, and Taft blows it up, so it'll stay 19-7. Ferris a little slow getting up, but I think he's okay. Meanwhile, we'll have to check in on who's going to quarterback these Taft Raiders on the next drive. We're back. It's 19-7 Falcons.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is sponsored by Premier Pros.
So the first half starts like the second, or excuse me, the second starts like the first with the Stevens Falcons scoring first. Jorge Rivera to put his foot into this one, and he kicks it away deep and over the head and into the end zone. And Taft Raiders offense will see if they get their quarterback back, as Tucker Vogel was a little shaken up on that last series, but he looks like he's okay. He's got his helmet on, looks like he's coming in. Kind of fell right on the top of his neck. That could not have been comfortable.
Yeah, to say the least, right? Yeah, but a tough guy, man. He's already made a ton of plays tonight in this football game. And again, it just seems like Taft can't get out of its own way, right? Whether it's a snap or an errant snap, or, you know, they've had a couple of plays that not go their way either, but just trying to find a rhythm here in the third quarter. So they've got a little dipsy doodle here.
Running the reverse, that block was close, and the flags fly. It's coming back as that was right there on the shoulder, and they're going to say he hit him for the block in the back. I knew it was right on the edge there, 53. Francisco Reyes, their big leader, their all-district 3-year letterman, trying to make a positive play, and he just clipped him. Keep your eye on 53, bottom of your screen.
For 53.
Got him on the shoulder. And
half the distance to the goal.
Again, Chuck, this is 2 series in a row where you have a positive play on first down, and you have a 10-yard penalty. This one, 15. And so you're going to start first down and 25. Last drive, first down and 20. Playing behind the sticks, it's never easy.
It never is, but you can see they got athletes, right? You like the running back. You like both of the receivers that they've got. Quarterback's obviously elite. It's just a matter of finding a rhythm and, you know, everybody doing what they're supposed to do on each individual play.
All right, so they're behind the sticks. They're going to throw it here, throw it into the flat to their speedster. Ray Foster is blown up. Big physical collision back there. Aiden Rodriguez, the academic all-district, says, get a load of those smarts.
Yeah, very good job of obviously recognizing what the play was going to be. And, you know, unfortunately, Ray kind of got knocked off his route there a little bit, had to go back for the football a little bit, made it hard for him to get his feet clear, but outstanding defensive play nonetheless.
Second down and 27. Vogel on the roll, going to fire into the flat. It's caught and wrestled out of bounds right there, short of the 15. So it'll still be third and really long here for the Taft Raiders.
Well, let's see what they got dialed up here. I know where I'd be looking.
Ray Foster with the speed. Maybe he could outrun somebody. David Aguirre on the catch on that last one. Foster's on the inside there at the top of your screen, standing right on the 0 of the 10. And they'll throw back, and that ball's caught. They're pushed out of bounds for a small gain. It'll be fourth down and a mile, and so the Taft punt team comes on, and Stevens should get it again in really good field position, most likely in Taft territory, as Dominic Mason goes back to return the punt off of the leg of the Taft punter.
Martin Barrett, just a sophomore, can't say enough about the job that he did right there. You talk about recognizing a play, right? I'm looking at 10. I'm thinking, okay, just throw a deep one to him, but they were trying to set up a screen, and Martin Barrett had none of it, man. Saw it the whole way, 47. Good-looking kid, too, big.
That's going to be a delay of game as the Taft Raiders had a substitution.
Offense, number 47. 5-yard penalty.
Communication
fourth down.
Confusion there. So that'll back him up even further. And Ricky Stade, just you see him shaking his head. He's trying to figure out what's going on with his squad right now.
Yeah, dude, they've been elite the last 3 weeks. I mean, there's a reason why these guys are in the top 10. But again, I mean, it's driving them crazy because they're just self-inflicted wounds here.
Big punt, spiral turns over, backing Mason up, and Mason is going to fight forward to the 45-yard line, but Stevens will have it inside Taft territory with a chance to increase their lead. Third quarter action rolls on here on Thursday Night Lights. Welcome back. It is our Moonlight Ballroom Smile Cam, and you can see those Stevens Falcons with a lot to smile about, as tonight they lead it here, extending their lead here in the second half over Taft. And I think we just saw the new Rowdy the Raider, a new mascot for Taft, is bulling forward is Nathan Lopez for a couple yards here on first down. There you go. What do you think, Chuck?
I like it.
Rowdy the Raider.
It's dapper, the suspenders and everything. Got to work on the hands a little bit, but
Rowdy's not going to play wide receiver. And there's the Falcon.
Nice bow. On homecoming night.
Homecoming, got that mum on. Giant mum. 2nd and 7. I'm faked out, camera's faked out, and it's a loss on the play as Ferris went backwards for about a yard. It'll be 3rd and long.
Barbosa and company making a play here. 99 coming to clean up, but outstanding job rallying to the football. Anthony Gonzalez, senior DB, first guy to get there. Again, not an easy guy to bring down, man. I'll tell you what, Isaiah Ferris, heard he was questionable coming into this game, got nicked in the Clark game. He has been electric tonight.
How about this, 3rd and a mile? Look at this, it's going to the house, almost. It might still, all the way inside the 5-yard line is Nathan Lopez. 3rd down and 8, you run a tight bunch run and you break it for 50. Unbelievable. They're going to go quick. And touchdown. There's a flag down. Nathan Lopez got in, but there's a flag down, and maybe they didn't get set trying to go that quick.
So if you're reading the body language of the Falcons, that thing's going to stamp.
Substitution, infraction, defense, more than
Taft
11.
didn't substitute
The
fast
penalty
enough.
is declined.
They
Result
declined
of
the
the
penalty.
play. Touchdown.
And look at this. The Stevens Falcons up 25 with the extra point to come, and here you go. A tight look at it. We talked about him in the pregame, Chuck, and this young man is quite the athlete.
He really is. I mean, you talk about getting ahead of steam, and aptly rewarded for that huge run on 3rd and long. Gets into the zone and some trickeration on the 2.
Pitch toss. Got one down. It's good. Anthony Boykin going into his bag of tricks, and the Stevens Falcons with all the momentum in the world here on the 2-point conversion. Nice.
4 for 4 throwing it tonight.
Dads were there this morning. Maybe that's what fired them up. Pep rally on homecoming. The home side is packed here tonight. And Stevens came into this one 1-2, taking on a new T&L top 10 team in Taft. And if you looked at this on paper, you thought, huh, Taft's really good, Stevens really struggling, but that didn't tell the story because Stevens has gotten better each and every week. And you can tell they're fired up on homecoming. Great crowd here tonight on TNL.
There really is. I mean, this is packed on the Stevens side. Of course, you expect a little of that for homecoming, but I think this Stevens bunch is really excited about the football team that they have this year. I mean, it's kind of steady as she goes, and they're really putting on a show on both sides of the ball here tonight.
George Rivera with the kick. It's one of those short ones. It's fielded, and a nice job on special teams by number 42 for the Stevens Falcons. And that is Sylvester Price getting down there to make the tackle. Here's one of our IBEW Local 60 player profiles. It's Quentin Cooper of Stevens. He's in the Reed program. He's in the FCA. He's a track letterman. He's a 2-year letterman playing DB for the Falcons. Defense going to see what they can do here against a Taft team that's gone backwards because of penalties on their first 2 drives on first down. It's a San Antonio Zoo first down for him here. They run a little counter up the middle, and Elmore has a nice gain on the play near the first down marker, a gain of about 8 or 9. No flag there, so Ricky Stade's got to feel good about that as they get this drive off to a nice start.
Yeah, Elmore, you can tell, man, this guy is elite. What nice feet, great vision, and good job by the fellas up front. Reyes, Soto, Manning, McDougal, and Schrold across the offensive line. You got somebody that's down.
Got a Taft Raider down on the far side. I believe that's number 1. And if so, that would be Isaiah Delgado, and we'll step aside. We're back as Delgado limps off. He's going off under his own power. That's a good sign. Not sure if we'll see him here again tonight. It's 2nd down and 3 for his teammates, the Taft Raiders, who have it on their own territory on about the 32, trailing by 20 points.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Don, didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize. Delgado's one of their most versatile outside guys, so huge blow to their offense.
They'll run Elmore. He bounces it to the outside. He breaks a tackle to the 40, across the 40 to about the 45-yard line. Nice job of showing his speed to the outside to pick up a San Antonio Zoo first down.
Really nice job bouncing that thing outside. An outstanding job, too, by Aiden Rodriguez, the Stevens linebacker. He's fighting through 2 guys there, and I thought did an amazing job of disrupting that play, but got to get some help from his fellas outside.
San Antonio Zoo first down. Here's Vogel to Elmore. He's going to bounce this one too, and he picks up 5. This game getting physical in the trenches between these 2 teams. Has been all night.
And there's your guy again, 30, Josh Bull.
Josh is in on just about every play.
Prometheus, what a great name is right.
And 2nd down and 5 for the Raiders, right at midfield. run Elmore in motion. They throw it to the sideline over here. Nice job by going down and getting that one as the throw was low, but Kenyon Skelton, who had a really great catch in the first half where he drug his back leg, didn't count, called him out, but it's 2 great catches tonight for him because that one he had to go pick it off his shoestrings.
Yeah, that was a fantastic play in the first half, and boy, how big a drive is this for Taft as we start here in the third quarter late?
They need this one. They need points. They'll toss it to Elmore. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage and now fighting forward. Picks up about 1.5 yards. Ball came out at the end, but well after he was forward, progress was stopped. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Boy, this guy just looks like, needed probably 1 extra block right there, but even with that said, still able to get some dirty yards on the play.
On a roll, Vogel throws it and off the hands of his intended receiver. Just a little high. He's been a little high on a few throws tonight, but throws it with great velocity. Xavier Reed saw that one go off his hands, a little high.
As you can see, they like to get the ball around to a lot of different guys, and I think that's been, pretty much the difference in the ball game tonight is that when Taft has thrown the football, they've had a hard time connecting downfield on some of these throws, and Stevens, they haven't put it up much, more than they normally do, but they have been absolutely perfect through the air as Stevens wants to get a timeout here on 3rd down.
So Stevens will take the timeout. 2:18 to play here in the third. Anthony Boykin's squad coming out, and hats off to his coaching staff tonight. Both sides of the ball. They've been really creative offensively in that run offense. And then defensively, they've had guys really fly to the ball. Of course, we've talked a lot about Josh Bullock all night. But they've had good schemes. They've coached it up well. Of course, we saw him going to the half. He was ahead and still not happy. And you can see they're still coaching hard over there, trying to get these guys to bow up on a big 3rd down play. It's a big play of the football game because if Taft was to somehow finish this drive with points, it's a new ball game. You stop him here with this late in the 3rd quarter, time becomes your friend.
Yeah, it's just been a masterful job tonight by Stevens, taking advantage of what's in front of them. And, you get the sense, right? If they control the run game, they're going to control the clock, and they've been scoring points at the end of these drives, and they've made it really hard on Taft.
Quarterback run for Vogel. Good play call by Ricky Stade, and his coaching staff coming up with one that catches Stevens' defense off guard and gets inside the 30, down to about the 25-yard line, and keeps this drive alive.
Yeah, and guess who was on the tackle on the other end, right? Huge chunk play by Taft on this play, but here comes 30.
So San Antonio Zoo 1st down for the Raiders. If they can get points here, cuts it to a 2-score game, gets really interesting. Vogel wanted to throw it. Now he's going to run it. He's going to reverse field. Very creative with the way he runs the football. Good pursuit by Stevens to bring him down after a short gain, but he is never out of it. Think he's going to need a hot tub tomorrow?
Yeah, he's not the only one, man. I see a lot of guys that are really bringing their A game tonight, including 30, man. What a fun guy to watch play football. But, overall, the Stevens defense is just, every time they seem like they've got an answer, right? You think he's going to pop it outside, and there's a couple of guys staying at
foul.
home.
Face mask, defense, since to the goal, automatic 1st down.
All right, but a big face mask call here will give them half the distance to the goal. And they go inside the Central Med red zone. They'll spot it. Let's see where they spot it. They'll be able to get a 1st down or not. It's outside the 10, so yeah, they'll be able to get a 1st down inside the 1. They go to Elmore. Elmore might get in right here. And does. Touchdown, Taft. Prometheus Elmore bounced it and just flung himself to that goal line.
Prometheus, the god of fire. Said he's a trickster too, was Prometheus. Once saved by Hercules.
I did not know that.
Prometheus doesn't need any saving, I can assure you. What a fun guy to watch the football, and boy, did Taft need that.
Extra point attempt for Taft.
So it's 27-14 as we near the end of the third quarter. Anything could still happen here in this one as Elmore goes in, and Taft able to convert a couple of big third downs on that drive to get right back in this football game.
Well, a lot of good blocking out there in front too for the Taft Raiders. Xavier Reed throwing a block, and how about Ray Ray? Little guy out there mixing it up with the big fellas. Gotta love it. Taft needed it, and they got it.
Good body control by Elmore to make sure he put the ball over the goal line. And Stevens will try to answer now with that run-heavy oriented offense, which is a huge advantage if you have a big lead in a football game and you can run that thing and run clock. Taft fakes the onside kick. And now they'll kick it away. Little squibber, fielded at the 15 and across the 30, down the 35 and out of bounds, and maybe late. No flag.
Awful close.
Now they have to be separated, and Josh Bulling's not happy about something. Best seats in the house right there. Saw those guys. You notice how those guys didn't budge when Elmore fell right at their feet for that score. They just kind of smiled like, yeah, it's a touchdown.
Kind of like that, man. The football guys, they saw where the play was going. They knew where it was ending.
So no flag on the questionable late hit out of bounds. Still good field position for Stevens. They'll take over at their 39. And they've been dangerous with that option running game. Nathan Lopez behind Ferris, takes it, and good defensive push up front by the Raiders. I believe that was 25. Tristan Clark got there first.
You know, it's really interesting watching them block up this running game. If you watch your offensive linemen, Don, they go low. You know, they try to knock guys off their block by just going lower. You know, there's nothing dirty about it. I mean, it's just face blocking, but it's just so different to see this actually work and work well. And, you know, we just don't see it very often, but boy, is it chess.
And when they mix in the pass, it's even harder to keep track of. Go up the middle, and Lopez has another San Antonio Zoo first down with just sheer power and willpower. Man, is he tough to stop.
Yeah, and then you get guys like 80 chipping in. I mean, look at this, plow the road.
He ran over his own guy.
That's what I'm talking about.
I wonder if that 24 kind of reminds you of Marion the Barbarian.
Right. Good call.
27-14. Stevens leads it at the end of three quarters. An eventful fourth could be straight ahead. It is time for our San Antonio Ready to Work third quarter highlights. A lot of action here in this one in the third quarter. Ferris got it started with his second long touchdown of the game. Stevens with a little pad after Lopez went in. They were feeling pretty good, especially after this two-point conversion was completed. But then Taft gets right back in it. Prometheus Elmore getting to the corner. And that cuts it to a two-score game, 27-14. As we start fourth quarter action, Stevens has the ball first and 10 right at midfield. And they go to Lopez, and this time Taft says, no, sir. And the Raiders bow up. Chuck, you get the sense that Boykin might be setting something up here. Going to Lopez over and over and over, and all of a sudden you pop something with that option.
You could do that, or, I think, too, where we're at in the game as we wind in on the fourth quarter. And the goal here is you got to get 3 or 4 every play and keep that clock moving, and then obviously get some points here at the end of it. Finish the game.
Second down and 9, and breaking free. Lopez across the 30 down to the 29. Cuts it up. And we've got stuck helmets at midfield. These two guys right there in the middle of the field, their face masks got connected. And both of them had to take off their hats.
You hadn't seen that. It just goes to show you what kind of a physical ball game we've had in the trenches here tonight.
It's a countywide first down here in the fourth quarter. As Lopez on the night now goes over 150 yards on 20 carries. They run it inside to a new ball carrier.
Ivan Lee.
Carried by Joel Zertuche.
Is it 3?
Joel Zertuche.
So, we talked about the amount of guys that had touches running the football as we take a look at our Monarch Trophy, and that's going to not only the team that wins tonight's ball game, but obviously the MVP as well. And, of course, Don, can't say enough good things about Monarch's investment in TNL year to year, week to week. And you get what you pay for over there, man. It is quality stuff.
Many years of being with TNL is Ferris is going to get up a little slow here after a nice game.
Helmets come off the last time, and a shoe coming off on this one. And boy, what a tough guy this has been all night.
Ribs are a little sore right now.
We're going to need some sauce for those ribs after that hit.
But remember, when their backup came in, he completed the only pass of the first half, the first pass rather. Caleb Ravilla in as the backup, and he's got to feel good about number 24 being right behind him. Hands it to him. Lopez is wrangled down. Good one-on-one tackle by the big guy.
Don, on the next play, take a look at David Ronhell, the left guard, and then Jacob Chapoy, the captain, at the left tackle. To Chuck's point right before the quarter, watch them just bear crawl off the ball. They're almost in 4-point stances, obviously not pass blocking. How are you supposed to get around a guy just bear crawling towards you? That's just to stop the backside rush from ever getting there. Just take a look at it. It's really fascinating to watch the backside guard and tackle.
Again, that goes to those fundamentals that we talked about that they learned from Harding University running this offense. That time it goes for naught. And this is a game in which both squads are going to feel this one tomorrow because it is a physical football game.
Yeah, running out 2 different guys now, obviously because of the injury to Ferris. But, Caleb played really well last week, and it's not like he hasn't seen the field before. But good to see good old 11 back in there. He's earned the right. He can play to finish this football game for sure.
Second and long. They'll fake the pitch as he wants to throw it. Got double coverage down there, and good coverage by Taft because this, I said I wonder if they were setting something up, something like that. And they had Lopez out in the flat, but Taft didn't bite on it at all. They were not fooled, and they dropped into double coverage and were right there to make a play.
Yeah, Brian Martinez and Axel Barboza both doing a really good job staying at home. They did not bite at all on the fake, and tell you what, looked like one of those guys got a little banged up though on that play.
So you run it on 3rd and 12?
Yep.
Of course they do. They pitch it outside, and they're not going to get much, and they're going to get out of bounds, and so they don't get yards or to clock to keep running. So it'll be 4th down and 12, and I think at this area of the field they feel very comfortable running the football.
4th and 12 for Stevens from the Taft 21.
Clock is stopped with 8:15.
Cody Jackson doing a really nice job of blowing that thing up, right? You get a guy who gets upfield that quickly, kind of disrupts the rhythm of everything, and 4th down. You gonna run it here?
How about, yeah, I'd run 24 right up the middle. He'll get 12. Low snap. Gonna throw it. In trouble. Ferris running for his life. Nobody open. Takes the sack. And Taft is fired up on the far sideline because the Raiders will take over on their own 35-yard line. Down 2 scores, but with plenty of time left.
Operator, please reset the game clock to 8 minutes, 10 seconds. 8, 1, 0.
Our Moonlight Ballroom Smile Cam out at the Taft Pep Rally this morning. Taft also fired up, not their homecoming, but still the Raiders with a lot to cheer about this year, the 3-1 record. And a really good football team as you're seeing here tonight, but they've got their work cut out for them here in the 4th quarter, down 2 scores. Taft 3-1 after winning over Clements, Marshall, and Holmes. And the kids were up and at them this morning, excited about tonight's ball game.
Well, not insurmountable, right? They got weapons. They may have to play a little differently here. Needed a stop, got a stop. Now it's time to play complementary football.
Trips to the left-hand side, bring a man in motion, and here's Vogel on the keep. And Vogel has a nice first down gain of about 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Now the clock is the biggest enemy of the Raiders, who need 2 scores. So they'll go quick here on 2nd down with the clock running. Vogel with 67 yards on the night and some spectacular runs at that. Fires into the flat, breaking a tackle. Out of bounds across midfield is the young man who's had a couple of really good catches here tonight. And that's Kenyon Skelton, the senior.
1st and 10 for Taft.
San Antonio Sports and Valero are once again recognizing teams that have exhibited key values through their actions to learn how parents, teachers, and coaches can nominate teams and individuals that go beyond the game. Just go to sanantoniosports.org. It's a countywide service company first down. And it's another Vogel keep. Called keep. He's got another first down. He's down the sideline. Vogel, huge night rushing the football for the Taft quarterback. And just when you think they're going into passing mode, he gets a huge chunk again with his feet.
Well, there was a huge hole in which to run through. May have gotten away with a little hold right there, but no autopsy, no foul. Vogel gets it right down the field and has his team in business, knocking on the door again.
Under 7 minutes to play, another countywide service company first down. He'll toss it into the flat. That ball was tipped. It is a forward pass, incomplete.
2nd and 10 for Taft.
It'll be 2nd down and 10 as Stevens trying to hang on here tonight on homecoming.
Yeah, Angel Salas, the big defensive lineman, the junior. Great play to bust up that play.
Got up there and got his big paw on it. Man in motion for the Raiders, a little option here. And guess who? The quarterback's gonna take it inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line. He's just impossible to tackle.
Yeah, he's not the biggest guy, 5'10", 170 pounds, but man, these feet are electric. And look at that, foot in the ground, little slide and glide. Then gash and mash at the end of that too, taking on guys.
Shifty, very shifty runner is Tucker Vogel. So it's 1st and goal now, 6:17 to go. Down 2 scores. It's Vogel, he'll keep. Vogel won't get there this time. Stops short at the 1. Anthony Boykin challenging his defense to hold. Again, tempers getting a little heated. It's a very physical game. Vogel from the 1, gonna sneak it, and he bulls his way in behind that big offensive line. And it's a 1-score game as the Taft Raiders go in. The flag is down, but it's against the defense. Touchdown will stand. It's 27-20 with the extra point still to come.
Well, Don. Well, to Don. You know, when you have this much running in a football game on both sides, man, it is going to get heated. It's going to get chippy at times, and it's going to get dirty at times. Get down there in the trenches, and boy, what an impressive answer by Taft as they have clawed their way back into this football game. And now they've got to pass the baton back to their defense.
A touchdown and extra point wins it if the Raiders can get the ball back. The question, can they stop the Stevens offense? 5:43 left here in the 4th quarter. Johnny Lott over in motion. Run it inside wide open. This one's going places.
You're not kidding.
James Criswell down the sideline. Criswell, did he get in? He got the pylon. Touchdown, Raiders.
Boy, it's been fun watching Ricky Lott's squad over the years. This is year 7 for him, guiding the Taft Raiders and really bringing and resurrecting a very proud program. As we watched this game unfold tonight, it sure looked like Stevens had their way, and you just felt like it was a matter of time before Taft would find some rhythm on offense. Kind of strange that how they found their rhythm in this football game, going out of a page out of the Stevens program here. They're running the football a lot, running their quarterback a lot, and it answered with 2 quick scores here, late third quarter, early fourth quarter. As we watch the ball bound into the end zone, now it is up to the Stevens Falcons offense. They've been very, very good, very hard to stop tonight, running their tricky offensive game, and now they need a couple of first downs to try to salt this ball game away. Taft armed with all 3 of their timeouts, so they're going to probably need more than 2 first downs, but the goal now, Don Harris, got to get 3 yards, 4 yards a chunk, keep moving the clock, and ultimately make Taft burn these timeouts.
So here's Ferris with a countywide service company first down, keeping it himself. Taft not fooled, and so after first down, they'll get 1. Clock will run, but Taft doesn't need to burn 1 after that short of a game. Our IBEW Local 60 player profile, number 8, Jacob Martinez of Stevens. He's a 2-year letterman. He's a day of service volunteer, and he works in the community with the adoption services, one of those kids going beyond the game here on 2nd and long. Stevens looking for a sustained drive, and they go to Lopez. And he has a nice positive game, make it 3rd down and about 5. And this is where it gets really interesting.
For a lot of reasons, right?
Yeah.
Not only the play call here, but what do you do on 4th down on this end of the field?
You'd have to kick it away and not give Taft that kind of field position, you would think. Then again, they've got tricks up their sleeves as they've shown all game long. A little interesting wrinkle here as Ferris checked down to his wristband. Gonna pitch it. This is the play that scored the touchdown. And they go outside to big number 80. And that was the score early. That was the play early in the game that scored the first touchdown, Josiah Turner. And it works again. That's a great offensive coordinator play right there.
Absolutely. They were in one play, checked out of it. Everybody checked their wristbands, and then they decided to go outside. Pitch was a little errant. Good job by Josiah to not only find the ears on the football, but then also give his team a fresh set of downs. Best case scenario, you stay inbounds, but he had one mission right there, and that was to move the sticks.
All right, so they'll go to Lopez. Good tackle around the legs, kept him from really getting more than that, but still a nice solid first down play. About 4 yards, maybe 5. It'll be 2nd down as the clock ticks inside 4 minutes.
Boy, this guy is one tough, gritty dude, huh? And you talk about dirty yards. Almost everything he gets involves contact, and more often than not, he's the guy distributing the blows.
163 yards tonight on 23 carries. And they're going to let the play clock tick down inside 8. They snap it now, and he's still on his feet, churning for another couple. That'll be 3rd down, and it looks like Ricky Stade's going to burn one of his here. It does. Here's that bear crawling block that you can see right off the snap, staying low. They teach it, and as a defender, there's no way to get off the block.
Yeah, a little torpedo action going on there in the middle of the lineup there. It is fun to watch because we don't get a chance to see this very often, although I know, it's making a little bit of a comeback at a lot of places where they evaluate their talent and figure out how they're going to do things. And, again, it's bears repeating. This is year 3 running this offense, and Coach Stade, the opposing coach, said there's no doubt they're running it better than they ever have. And boy, if they run it to perfection here tonight. Again, you just see all the things that are it can afford your football team, right? You're moving the clock, you're controlling the game, you're being easier on your defense for staying off the field, you're throwing off the rhythm of the other offense who's not on the field. All that has worked to perfection tonight. However, there's still 3:27 and a lot of football left in this game.
Now you may think about going for it on 4th down if you don't get it here. I'd still punt it away and force them to go the distance the way that quarterback's been running. Another couple of first downs and Stevens will feel a lot better about this, and so will about 5,000 faithful here on the home side. Fullback may have gone early. Ferris kept it. He's wrangled down for a loss. Taft's going crazy. They're fired up. And now I think you'd have to punt the football. Anthony Boykin's going to talk it over, though. He's meeting with the official on the near side. I think he's going to think about this.
Now, first things first, Roberto Aguirre. What a phenomenal play right there. All kinds of blocking going on in front of the ball carrier, but from the backside, 23. Make a play when your squad needs it. Let's show off the cool quaff.
Dakota Perkins is our collision of the game tonight. Here's what it looked like earlier tonight. Our ACNowSA.com collision of the game. Big number 88 goes 275 pounds, and you do not want to get that right there. The end of the play while having his leg grabbed onto. Here comes the freight train.
A little nudge sludge.
You don't want to be parked on the train track when he's coming.
No, sirree. Not with 88 on the field.
So here comes the punt team. Haven't seen much of them at all tonight for Stevens.
Oh, and look who's back there to field the punt. Look out below, the man that's got 2 in 2 weeks, right? Isn't that Ray 10 back there?
Yeah, you don't want to kick it to him if you were watching film. They're going to kick it his way.
It's not him.
Oh, it's not him. Out of bounds. Right about, good kick, by the way.
Yes, indeed.
And it's going to set him back to the 25. I got one question.
Yes,
if I'm the Stevens fan, staff, team, can we tackle the quarterback? Because he has just been outstanding. Tucker Vogel has been a handful on the ground. He's got 112 yards on 13 carries and 2 touchdowns.
Well, we talked about his splits going into this football game, right? It was pretty even. What he's done with his feet, what he's done with his arm. Well, tonight, it's been with his feet. There's no doubt about it. And it's really kick-started this offense. It's really, had a hard time for 2.5 quarters trying to find its feet. But, man, they've really picked it up here late.
The Raiders looking for a game go-ahead drive. Vogel scrambling. Now he's got a man going to fire it for Ray that's in the direction of him and almost intercepted by the deep safety who came up to make a play on the ball.
But there's so much game in this guy and what he's got in his holster, right? I mean, he drops back, he's moving his feet, he's got shoulder shrugs, looks like he's going to throw it, and he sets up defenders, and then he's really good, moving his feet and then getting the ball out. So they missed on that one, but, man, just a hard guy to read play to play, snap to snap.
They've got 1 timeout left and 3:08 to get about 75 yards. Going to run it again on that called quarterback draw. It's been big all night. He gets back a big chunk. It'll be 3rd down and short. And at this point, you may just want to spy our good friend Josh Bullock on the quarterback, because so far they haven't shown that anybody else is really beating him other than the called QB draws and when he makes something out of nothing.
Right now, Bullock is dropping back. He's the playing safety. He's just kind of reading the field. So, right now, they're going to see if somebody else can make it, and he's the safety guy.
Here's the speedster. Ray's got it. Breaks a tackle. Cross midfield. Clock stops to move the change with 2:22.
Little flip it out. Ray getting some blocks. Look at that. And then again, you just see the toughness of this guy too. Littlest guy on the field, but Tell you what, you get in his way and you're going to feel something as well. This guy's a stud.
Clock inside 2 minutes. Taft down a touchdown. Quarterback keep. It's Vogel. He's got 6. And Stade still only got 1 timeout left. He won't use it here. He's second down and 5. 1:42 to go.
Oh, great job pulling Jonah Guerra from his wide receiver position and kind of used him as a lead blocker, and second, infinitely manageable.
Going to throw into the flat. That's caught out of bounds. Nice, smart play to move the sticks.
I want to call this guy Plaxico Burris so bad every time he catches it. What a whale of a ball game 17's had.
Kenyon Skelton with the grab, stops the clock. 1:24 to go inside Stevens territory. Can the Falcon defense bow up, or will the Taft Raiders pull off a miracle comeback down 3 scores early in the second half? Here's Elmore. Elmore's across the 30, down to the 25 with 1 minute and 17 seconds to go. And if you're Stevens, you might think about taking a timeout to give your defense a little bit of a breather, because they're on their heels right now. Countywide Service Company first down. Rolling right, firing into the flat, caught, and a nice tackle there by number 26 of that Stevens defense, Jordan Ortega. As we tick inside a minute, clock runs, continues to run. Fantastic finish set up here on TNL.
It's really fun to watch this Taft offense operate late. You can tell they've been doing this a while.
2nd and 7, inside of 30. Vogel throws to the sideline, caught out of bounds is Skelton. And a flag down here. And that's thrown in the defensive backfield.
Curious to see what they call here. As Taft was motioning as if the play may have been on.
Personal foul, hands to the face, defense.
That's a 15-yarder too, and an automatic first down. That is costly. Down all the way to the 5-yard line. The Stevens fans not happy about it. Now, Chuck, do you think about stopping the clock if you're Stevens in case you need the time back?
Well, yes, for sure, but the one thing you got to do now is you got to be ball hawking like crazy on defense.
The throw to the corner, caught, touchdown, Skelton, tie ball game with the extra point to come.
Boy, they worked that back shoulder earlier in the game and didn't get any credit for it. That was an absolute perfect ball. I don't know that Aaron Rodgers could have thrown that one any better, man. Holy moly.
And the grab just as good.
Absolutely. Both feet down, just like Plaxico would have done.
And so now it's all on the foot of Sean Callawner. This to go ahead. The kick is right down the middle. Taft leads it with 21 seconds to go. In an amazing comeback here, down 3 scores in the second half.
What a rally. And again, complimentary football is what it's all about, right? Hadn't been able to stop the run all night. Back-to-back stops. Finally get some rhythm on offense. And it has been a quarter and a half of elite-level football from the Taft Raiders. Finally get the passing game going here on this drive. And didn't the Giants win a Super Bowl with Plaxico in the end zone like that? Similar play?
Very similar, beat the Patriots. I think it was after the
Tyree catch.
The catch was stuck to the top of the helmet.
Wow. Athlete on the back end, athlete on the front end. Well done pitch and catch, and what a rally by 17 and his squad. But there's 21 seconds left on Harris.
Never over. It's never over. Taft will kick it away. Let's see if they do the pooch. They kick it away, and it's going to be brought out. The clock is running. And out of bounds with 13 seconds to go. And we're back in 15 seconds.
Hey San Antonio teens! Are you looking for ways to share your voice, creativity, and ideas on ways to positively impact the community? Become a Project Worth Teen Ambassador. For more information, visit our website or call 210-207-8850.
Even possession first and 10 from the Stevens 26.
Man, I thought they had that blocked up pretty nice. Taft, man, had a bunch of dudes swarming.
It's a countywide first down with 12 seconds to go.
Keep it in front of you, Taft.
Ferris.
Nothing gets behind you.
Throws out of bounds, stops the clock with 8 seconds as they go to Mason. They're down to maybe 1, maybe 2 plays.
2nd and 7 for Stevens from their own 29.
And just an incredible finish here tonight on Thursday Night Lights. Ball's on the ground. Ferris trying to make something out of nothing. This will be the last play of the game. And he's going to be brought down. Ball game over. Ricky Stade and the Taft Raiders come from behind to pull off a huge win in district play over the Stevens Falcons. Look at Ricky Stade. Is he fired up or what? And he should be. His team never quit.
Nope, and neither did the Stevens Falcons. What a ball game, start to finish, in a tale of 2 halves. Remarkable performance by both of these teams tonight. Man, we just get one barn burner after another this year.
Oh, man, as thrilled as you are for the Taft Raiders, you got to feel so bad for the Stevens Falcons because this is a team that fought tooth and nail tonight and falls in a really good football game. It is time for our Living Way Church play of the night, and why not it be the quarterback of the Taft Raiders, Tucker Vogel. This play was dead in the water, and he found a way. And he did this all night, finding a way, using his speed. This in the first half to get them back in the ball game. They went down after that too by 3 scores and still clawed their way back into the football game. When we come back, we will give the player of the game trophy to that young man. No surprises. And Ricky Stade, our Monarch trophies, and it'll be a celebration for the Taft Raiders who win it 28-27.
You're right.
Tonight's broadcast of Thursday Night Lights is sponsored by Taco Cabana, the Gomez Law Firm, Beluga Air, Centro Med, Enroll SA, San Antonio Sports, Valero, San Antonio Zoo, County-Wide Service Company, Christus Children's, ACNowSA.com, Rhino Roofers, San Antonio Ready to Work, Moonlight Ballroom, Air and Plumbing Today, Living Way Church, San Antonio Metropolitan Health District, Premier Pros, IBEW, Vietnam Army Grunt Museum, and Monarch Trophy Studio.
You saw
1, 2, 3, 4.
What a game at Gustafson Stadium. We told you that this district was the SEC of high school football in San Antonio, and the Taft Raiders and Stevens Falcons didn't disappoint. Time for our San Antonio Ready to Work game highlights. And, you know, tonight Chuck Stevens took the lead and seemed to be in control of this game, both